Hello, I'm from Global India Business Forum, Dr. Jitendra Joshi, the Global President for GIBF, and very happy here. We are at the Embassy of Suriname in Delhi, and with us today, His Excellency Ambassador Mr. Arunkoemar Hardien. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joshi, and welcome to the Embassy of the Republic of Suriname.
So Suriname is a very, very beautiful country in the South America with 600,000 population, and the most important thing is that a lot of our Indian brothers is there, and they went almost 150 years back from India, from maybe from Madhya Pradesh, from Uttar Pradesh, and we are so happy. Our present ambassador is also the Indian origin. And so we are so proud of you that you came as ambassador of Suriname in India, and specifically you are from the Indian origin, sir. So you want to throw some light on this specific, particular relationship?
Let me say that I am honored to represent Suriname in India. Suriname and India established diplomatic relationships starting from 1976. So almost 23 years.
Okay.
And for me, being a young ambassador from Suriname, Indian descendants, it's a truly honor to represent my country here in New Delhi, India. We are what you described as a small country on the South American continent and a proud member of the Caribbean community, CARICOM.
So, as this is a Caribbean country and a lot of our Indian brothers, sisters are staying there, Suriname as a country around 60% population is Christian and 20% is Hindu origin, and there are some Islamists around 13%. So this is a dividation of the community based. And what we like, sir, and what we heard about that Suriname, that the Indian culture is still maintained. So our brothers and sisters who went there, forefathers went there, even after so many years, the Indian culture is been properly maintained there. So what is the reason behind, and what kind of efforts has our Indian community is taking in Suriname to maintain this such a great culture in such a far distance from India?
Quite surprisingly, Suriname has well maintained the Indian culture and tradition throughout the years. The Hindi language and every element of the Hinduism is practiced almost in the same way as it is in India, with of course some differences and influence over the last years, and influence also from ethnic group, but still you can say 98, say even 99% of the traditions, the riti rivas of anything, even if you talk about the wedding, the vivas, birth, death ceremonies, celebration of special days, the holidays are observed in the same way, just like in India. And it's quite surprisingly when you give this as an introduction of the Republic of Suriname, around 27% of our population is from Indian descendants.
Okay.
And the unique thing for Suriname is, in connection to India, is that this year, on the 5th of June, which is next month, we will be celebrating 150 years of a Pravasi Divas from India towards Suriname, the arrival of the Indian immigrants from Bihar and Uttar Pradesh mainly to Suriname, which is a very unique and also a day to be proud of. And contributing to this fact, what will give us, we would like to describe it more shobha to the planned celebration over there, is the fact that the President of India will also be traveling to Suriname to take part in these celebrations. So it's for us a very true honor to receive the Indian President and her delegation for the 5th June.
Prime Minister, Indian Prime Minister.
No, the Indian President.
President is coming.
The Indian President will be traveling with her delegation to Suriname on an official state visit to take part in this planned celebration. What made us preserve the Indian traditions, the values, the culture, different culture aspects, is just the fact that we preserved it. It's part of our identity, who we are. Quite surprisingly, compared to our neighboring country, Guyana, and even compared to Trinidad in the Caribbean region, even the language is the Hindi language in Suriname is well preserved and even taught by different Hindi schools throughout Suriname, not only limited to Paramaribo, the capital, but also in the different districts. So it's being encouraged that people learn and speak the Hindi language. Compared to our neighboring countries, they do understand the Hindi, they can speak it. In Suriname, we understand and speak the Hindi language. We have, throughout the years, after the plantation period, developed our own language, our own variant from the Hindi, which we call the Suriname language, which is a mix of mainly the Hindi language, but has element of Bhojpuri, Awadhi and Maithili in it. So if you will hear us speak Suriname, you will recognize most elements from the Hindi language, but also Bhojpuri, Awadhi and Maithili elements in that. And not say you see it also, you hear it in the songs, the Bhuta Ganas and other forms of music, dance styles, the Bharat Natyam. We have several Bharat Natyam schools in Suriname where the Bharat Natyam dance is brought over to the youngsters. So yes, you can say the parampara, as we so popularly call that part, is being preserved in Suriname in a very unique way, and we are proud for that. And we want the world to know it, that even in that corner of the globe, South America, there is still a huge Indian presence of Indian descendancy back in Suriname.
Great. So friends, this is really proud moment for all of us that our Indian brothers are staying so long in South America, and even today after 150 years they speak Hindi, they understand Hindi, they speak, and the most important, the culture maintained, even the festival season, the Diwalis and all the celebrations. I think there is a lot of takeaway from this. सर मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बात करूँगा. थोड़ा आप दिवाली सेलिब्रेशन के बारे में हमारे दर्शकों को कुछ बताएंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा.
It's the same way being celebrated just like in India, the Holi, Phagwa celebration, Diwali. You just call out a day on the Hindu calendar. It's been celebrated in Suriname in almost the same unique way as in India. The puja, the katha, jhandi, everything is there. And we from the embassy will contribute in promoting this part of our unique identity in India. When I first came to Delhi, now around 9 months ago, I was quite surprised how little is known about Suriname and its Indian descendants population. And there is a challenge for us as embassy, representing the government and the people of Suriname in India, to contribute to more awareness, more promotion about Suriname, its possibilities, its identity, and the Indian presence in South America.
Great. We were discussing about the bilateral relationship between India and Suriname. More than 23 years back, this bilateral relationship has started, and things are moving in a very positive direction, sir. We just want to know what kind of expectations you from the government of India, so that more bilateral relationship, the trade improvement will happen in terms of imports and exports from various goods from India to Suriname and vice versa.
Let's say the bilateral relationships between both our two countries, Suriname and India, are very unique in a way that we have shared a very strong historic bond between our two countries. You can say it's the parivar feeling that brought us closer to each other because of the existence of the presence of an Indian descendants population over there. And throughout the years, we have tried our very best to contribute to strengthen the bilateral relationship between both our two nations. India is offering assistance and especially grants which we are very thankful for in several areas in Suriname, in the areas of agriculture, especially training for the capacity strengthening is being provided. So we have always received help and assistance from India where necessary. Currently, this bilateral relationship moves towards a very positive direction, one in which it contributes to deepening the ties between both our two nations. Suriname has a small population. It's a country that is developing itself with a pace. As we have a small population, not even 600,000 persons are living in Suriname, quite surprisingly for many people looking at the country specifics. But still, we have a part to play.
Yes.
And we proudly play that part in this bilateral relationship that started from 1976. Currently, we witness an increased communication between both our two governments. It has been the second time in the political history of the Republic of Suriname, that an Indian origin descendant has been elected as President of the Republic of Suriname.
Great.
President Chandrika Persat Santokhi is the current president. Today is the third year of his term, 25th of May, also a unique day that is being used as a day to reflect back on what the government has achieved so far and where adjustments can be made if necessary. So regarding the relationship with India, Suriname always looks towards India as a partner for our development, and this relationship is only getting stronger, and it's based with respect and on mutual basis. It's not only the interest of Suriname that has to prefer, but also the interest of India. So from that mutual benefit perspective, we try to deepen and strengthen our relationship. We have a lot of initiatives now in preparation that are being prepared, that are being monitored by both the Suriname Embassy in Dili and the Indian Embassy in Paramaribo. India provided Suriname also with sufficient financing in several areas, the lines of credits as we know it, in purchasing defense equipment, and plans to build a new football stadium, and strengthening of several sectors, especially the agriculture sector, strengthening of the energy sector in Suriname. So there are several projects that are in preparation between both our two countries, and it's being monitored by relevant authorities and also by the embassies, as I mentioned, because executing needs to be done in a time-effective manner. And you know how it is with financing frameworks, it needs to be monitored very closely. Also, on several levels, other projects and assistance is provided from India towards Suriname in the area of disaster management. Our National Coordination Center receives grants and other kinds of assistance, equipment and material from Indian government to institutional strengthen itself and also to be prepared for natural disasters. Suriname was blessed that we did not have natural disasters before, but in the last years also, because of a result of global climate changes, we were not even spared of the effects of La Nina and El Nino in the Caribbean and the Latin American region. So also in that area where Suriname requested help and assistance, we found a true partner in India. But do remember also the COVID period in which India offered not only Suriname but the whole globe help in providing health material, masks that were so nowhere to be found at certain moments. There is where India stepped in and also provided Suriname with help to secure its population, to safeguard
A lot of vaccination.
a lot of, yes. And we are very thankful for the Indian government, for the government of Prime Minister Modi in helping Suriname, the government and its people, and as I said, safeguarding us for the terrible COVID period we went through.
Great. So Suriname and India relationship going very strongly. India is acting like a big brother to Suriname now, okay, not just a partner. At the same time, sir, when we are talking about the business aspects, even though the population of Suriname is not very big, but in terms of business and the potential of business, I think if we can see the bauxite, the gold, oil, timber, there are huge potential of business, and the mining potential is also. So we see a lot of activities can be possible for the Indian companies, those who are keen to go to Suriname and establish their new company and do great business with Suriname. So your point of view about all these aspects of business potential for Indian businessmen?
So regarding the business opportunities that Suriname can offer the Indian business community, we have a lot to offer, but it needs to be explored. It needs to be discovered. If we look at the ranking internationally of Suriname as a country, we are ranked the 17th richest nation on earth. That is based on the existence of our natural resources.
Yeah.
But it's an untapped potential, and that is the potential that we as a country are offering the world. The possibilities that we are offering the world, and especially Indian business community, that we have enough possibilities in several areas that can be identified and can be explored. You mentioned the mining sector.
Yes.
That's just one of the sectors, and in the mining sector, I could refer to the gold industry, where we already have the presence of some big international multinationals exploring for gold. Newmont Corporation from the United States. We had IAMGold from Canada that is now being taken over by a Chinese multinational. These are two, just as an example, two big international multinationals looking for gold. But then also adding to that, you have the small scale gold industry. Suriname has a lot of gold.
Yes.
There are huge deposits there. Back in the history, when the Spanish people were looking for El Dorado, obviously they meant Suriname by that, because of the existence of huge gold deposits. So that is just one opportunity. The oil and gas industry is another sector that is very promising. We have oil reserves all the time, but that's mainly concentrated on the mainland. But around 5-6 years ago, we discovered huge oil deposit in our offshore part of Suriname, and that of course attracted a lot of international interest, and our national state oil company is the one in charge of these natural resources on behalf of the government and people of Suriname. Let me add that immediately to that. So also there is a new area in which we would like to invite Indian business community, Indian oil companies to visit Suriname, to see what the possibilities are of investing in the Suriname oil, gas and energy sector. In June, from 19 till 22nd June next month, Suriname will be hosting for the second time in a row the Suriname Energy, Oil and Gas Summit. The last summit in 2022 was a huge success. It attracted a lot of international attention, and because of the need for more information about this sector, this promising sector, it was decided for this year to continue and again have a summit offering the many possibilities in the oil and gas sector. It's not only about exploring the oil and gas, it's a whole chain of companies along the road towards the oil exploration, towards the oil gas exploration, that see opportunities in providing equipment, in providing technical skills, technical labor, supply, food, beverages, accommodation. So a whole supply chain needs to be set up. If drilling is completed, exploration takes shape, you have to export, you need ports, you need harbor facilities, you need any kind
all logistical support.
Logistical supports, services, consultancies. So the sector is from a multi-angle perspective, and that is just another possibility that is being offered by Suriname to Indian business community. When our president, Excellency Santokhi, visited India in January 2023, he offered the possibilities to the companies he spoke with, and even took time in his program to visit the world's largest refinery, oil refinery in Gujarat, the Jamnagar refinery of the Reliance Group. And those site visits encourage you to explore the possibilities of cooperation between both countries, between the companies in your oil sector, and to see in what areas collaboration is possible. But for that, we should know each other more. As I mentioned before, more promotion needs to be done in this area, more awareness about the many possibilities. So that is now our primary focus, and which event just like which are planned next month, that is just one of the activities to contribute to that goal. But also the existence in other sectors, agriculture sector, which is a huge potential also. Food is something that everybody needs. The demands just goes up, and our soil, the climate, all circumstances to do cultivation of any product is possible in Suriname. Within the agriculture, the rice cultivation is one of our main products. Popularly also rice cultivation in India. States like Madhya Pradesh see themselves as the rice bowl of India.
Yeah.
So also in that area, we are looking for an intensive cooperation between Suriname and India. But the government of Suriname is offering the possibilities that are there in the agriculture, facilities that can be provided by the government are available. There is already around 200,000 hectares available for investors that are willing to invest, and of course more initiatives can be developed as the interest goes up. So in several sectors in Suriname, I would like to say with full confidence that there are enough possibilities, and to help facilitate this, Suriname has also extensively invested in strengthening institutions to help guide, to help respond to certain requests, to counter Indian companies, and that is through what we call the Suriname Investment and the Trade Agency, SITA. So SITA has a symbolic meaning also within the Indian context, but also for the Suriname context, it has the meaning
Business promotion,
Suriname Investment and Trade Agency. So it's there, and it's equipped and to help facilitate, guide Indian companies that are interested to do business in Suriname.
Okay.
And also adding to that, the other government institutions such as the Ministry of Trade and Industry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Business, and international cooperation, has other institutions that are ready to help facilitate and support Indian businesses towards Suriname.
Okay. Travel tourism industry has started doing so well after COVID, and most of the tourists want to visit the new places worldwide. Specifically, if I can talk about the Indian tourist most of the time try to explore many new places worldwide. I think they not aware about the Suriname maybe also a tourist place because of the comfort, the language, and the overall maybe the food availability. And they, in the South America, I think most of the people are not aware that Indians origin and Indian people are present there. So any specific efforts you think needs to be taken from your government side to explore these possibilities of footfall increase in Suriname?
So currently, we are trying to promote our ecotourism from Suriname and offering that also to the world. Suriname, for 97%, is still covered with rainforest. And we want to promote that and use it to offer to the world that Suriname is an eco-friendly destination which you should explore. The challenging part between Suriname and India to encourage this tourism is the distance a little bit.
Yeah.
But nowadays, we can try to ease that as much as possible also. We tried our very best to encourage us by encouraging visa-free travel between our two nations. We just recently took some measures because of certain activities and are looking towards a situation where visa requirements will be re-implemented for a certain time only to get grip on the situation as it unfolds for certain patrons, and it's more security dominated. But coming back to the ecotourism, Suriname promotes itself towards the world as the beating heart of the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And with 97% still forest, we have pure nature to offer the world and Indian tourist. But not only that, not only a nice view, a nice forest visit and relax and go back to nature and try to recharge yourself as a human being. On the culinary front, it will be also attractive to see that in Suriname you still can, while on vacation, you can eat your roti, your chutney, your chokha, anything that is familiar for you as an Indian tourist, you will find in Suriname, and we heartily welcome Indian tourists over to Suriname. The connectivity between India and Suriname, as I mentioned, is a little bit still challenging, since most of the persons traveling to Suriname go through Amsterdam, the Netherlands. But still, even we as a government of Suriname are looking towards other ways in our efforts to encourage this. We would say one of our wishes would be a direct connection between Dili and Paramaribo, but because of the distance you have to take certain things into account. But still, we're exploring the many possibilities that are available nowadays for air travel and other ways. But our primary focus is to focus on our increasing awareness and the measures and the possibilities that also exist on the ecotourism front, to offer that to the tourist and to promote Suriname as a tourist destination and to see pure nature as it is being offered.
So actually the ecotourism, and you mentioned the 97% rainforest. I think definitely these are the very different attractive things Indians can need to explore. And with this dialogues, I think a lot of people, those who can see this in the YouTube also, I think it will be a great opportunity for them to understand Suriname in a fresh way. There is a possibility to be visited in the Suriname. Apart from that, sir, as you know, the Bollywood, Tollywood, and many Bengali movies, and most of the producers and directors, they always try that there should be some good locations for the shootings. Apart from that, we also see the possibility of the Indian fat weddings, where the destination wedding concept is increasing in a very big way. So do you think these are also the two things where actually the Suriname government and Indian tourists together can explore the lot of shooting platforms and wedding platforms?
So Suriname can offer that, but still a lot of homework needs to be done. We're taking a step-by-step approach in offering these possibilities. There is indeed an increasing need for different countries to promote themselves as a destination
Weddings.
for weddings especially.
Yes.
And we want to look at that, but Suriname in this stage has no focus on that yet.
Okay.
So, but gradually we want to take a step-by-step approach, let the world know of the many possibilities that Suriname has to offer in this area, and the different possibilities that we can offer Indian tourists, and to encourage them to visit Suriname in this area.
So as you mentioned, the machinery export is also one possibility, maybe from Indian exporters side, agriculture related machinery specifically, food processing, agriculture, and whether Indian tourist or the Indian businessman, if they want to explore Suriname, so do you think they should only think about Suriname as the selling market, or entire Caribbean they should consider as by sitting in Suriname?
So in that area, Suriname would like to promote itself as the hub for the Caribbean and the Latin American countries. So investing in Suriname means that you have the possibility of also exploring the Caribbean markets and the Latin American markets. We have port facilities, we have the air connectivity in the region and with some Latin American countries. So there is an area of cooperation which can be explored by Indian business. We see an increasing number of interested Indian business that want to travel to Suriname and learn about the many possibilities that Suriname has to offer. So the visit of the President in January was an encouragement. We had very fruitful meetings with a large numbers of companies, and just recently in April, a couple of these companies visited Suriname, especially in the areas of the healthcare. Letter of intents were signed by Indian companies and Suriname counterparts to provide medical equipment and medicines from India to Suriname, but also in the area of agri-processing. Companies like Bajaj Process Pack Limited visited Suriname and offered the machineries for the small and medium enterprises, for the startups. Also a new sector that the Suriname government wants to encourage, and by providing this kind of facilities, by connecting Suriname counterparts with Indian companies, we want to encourage this. And we see an increasing number, but also in the area of defense. Bharat Electronics is just one of the companies with who we already share a business relationship, and that is going to be strengthened in the coming periods because of the need, not only because of the oil and gas existence which you need to safeguard, but there are several areas of cooperation that are being explored now, and we are moving on a fast track through the Suriname Investment and the Trade Agency in helping facilitate all these interested companies and to try to connect them with the right Suriname counterparts where necessary.
The healthcare sector is one of the very important sector. Specifically, sir, after COVID, the most of the world is trying to be fit because the world has suffered a lot in the COVID period, and many small countries where actually the pharmaceutical was not very strong base. So most of the countries nowadays looking towards India as a big support from the pharmaceutical industry, from the medical related supports, healthcare related doctors also. In that case, sir, what exactly the Suriname is looking for from Indian perspective? These are the areas in healthcare. Even the Ayurveda is also one area where actually the Indian traditional medicines needs to be offered to the world. So your comment on that, sir?
So in the area of pharmaceuticals and medicines, we also see that as an area of possible cooperation, one of which Suriname needs India for that part. After COVID, it is a clear evidence for each country on the globe that more than ever you have to invest in your healthcare, in the infrastructure, in your skills, in the availability of medicine, having an adequate stock supply. So it made us aware in many areas.
Yeah.
So regarding that part, every country wants to have a healthy population. Without healthy population, healthy workers, without a healthy labor force, you can't develop yourself. Same goes for Suriname. We have an ambitious agenda trying to develop Suriname. We promote ourselves as the hub towards the Caribbean community for Indian business. But in order to do that, one of the key areas to focus on is a healthy labor force, a healthy population, a healthy labor force. So healthcare facilities should be available. Access to medicines should be there. And in that area, we are receiving a lot of support from India. There is this special assistance that was provided through the Prime Minister's office towards Suriname in offering Suriname a basket of medicine and surgical supplies, around 1,800 generic medicines and 300 surgical items were offered under a special program that was being supervised by the Prime Minister's office. That assistance package is under consideration by the Suriname government, and we are intensively looking into that and are responding in a very quick manner towards that help that is being offered by India. But also in other areas, such as Ayurvedic. It is only gaining more and more interest since people are becoming more aware of the many possibilities that can be provided through Ayurvedic. And that is one of the areas of interest in which both Suriname and India needs to explore more. So there are plans to set up some specialized institutes that focus on the promotion of Ayurvedic health and the many possibilities that come with that in Suriname. And for that, we are looking towards India as being the center of Ayurvedic globally.
True.
So yes, we are looking forward to an intensive collaboration on that part. As already mentioned, with 97% of our mainland covered still by forest, there you have a possibility for Ayurvedic purposes,
raw materials,
and raw materials and input that is needed. So yes, that is also another part that is offered as a specific sector for investments by Suriname.
Great. So actually, the two questions comes in anyone minds. If it is a tourist, for example, they always look for the safe and secured place, safety. And the second, if he is a businessman, then he is always look for the safety security of his investments. So both things are very, very important for the country also to give that ease of doing business also and ease of traveling in terms of safety security. So both these aspects, as a Indian origin Prime Minister is there in Suriname, and we are so happy that our Indian origin Prime Minister is there now. So, but in these two areas, I just want to know, and many of our viewers want to know, what kind of safety security in terms of business and safety security in terms of travel tourism, so that the confidence building is based on these two areas.
So a lot of measures and there is policy also being developed to guarantee investments in Suriname. It's being facilitated by the Suriname Investment and Trade Agency and the Ministry of Trade and Industry that take the lead in this area. But it's guaranteed also by the government. We have programs from government providing incentives also towards Indian businessmen that are interested. And in the area of safety and security, I think Suriname is a very safe country to visit it as tourist, as business. In the area of disasters, we don't have natural disasters like other countries are being confronted with with hurricanes and flooding and that kind of disasters. We don't, with the thank and the mercy of God, don't have those kinds of disasters. So also in that area, in a certain way, you can say your investment is safe. But from a government perspective, we try to develop and implement the necessary measurements and roll out policy where necessary to attract the investment, but also to give the necessary guarantees and provide safety for investments on one hand, but also for the people on the other hand. And in this area, gladfully we have nothing to complain. We can just increase our efforts in trying to promote a much better investment climate, and the government is taking every step, supervised by the president himself, as he is also a former justice minister and knows his way, so everything about safety and security. So we are trying our best to take the necessary measures and to roll out policy where necessary as a small country in South America.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And my last conversation is definitely about since 2014, after the government of BJP government is into existence, and Mr. Modi is took over the Prime Minister, and the Sushma Swaraj, late Sushma Swaraj was our foreign minister. Yes, and now Mr. Jaishankar. So they all tried their best that the relationship between many countries and India to strengthen at the different level, and many good results has now come up after 10 years of the tenure. Your comment on specific the contribution of such these all three guys for the bilateral relationship improvement, also the people to people contacts, the cultural improvement, and on the same line as Global India Business Forum has started developing the councils also, like as we are intent that India Suriname Business and Cultural Council opening we are intent to, as the website is also under preparation. Yes. So your comment on that, these initiatives from government side and from the GIBF side also.
So I see it going towards a very positive way. I see an increased interest from India towards Suriname also. We had the visit of the former president, Honorable President Covid in 2019.
Yes.
For the state visit towards Suriname. Next month we will receive the president from India once again in Suriname to be there and take part in the 150-year celebration, Her Excellency Draupadi Murmu.
Yes.
With her delegation. We're looking forward to her state visits. But also visit last year of Speaker of the House, Shri Om Birla visited Suriname. So we see an increasing interest of high-level VIPs and other officials from India towards Suriname, and that is an encouragement for Suriname. It's something of pride also for us. Of course, we want, it is the wish of the government and the people of Suriname, especially the Indian community present in Suriname, to, of course, invite Prime Minister Modi also towards Suriname, but as he is also having a very busy agenda, we can respect that. But we look forward also for at least one visit of the Prime Minister towards Suriname. We were more than be honored to welcome him in Suriname. But that goes for every Indian businessman, citizens that wants to visit Suriname for purpose of tourism or to invest there. Everybody is welcome, and we encourage that part. So platforms like the Global Investment and Business Forum, we want to partner with them from the Suriname Embassy and support them and just strengthen this partnership. And we see an increased interest that we can use as a platform only to deepen and strengthen this relationship. So we are very much hopeful, and we look towards a very fruitful collaboration in the coming period. The Suriname Embassy is here in New Delhi, available for anybody, everybody that is interested to visit Suriname and to invest in Suriname, with special emphasis on that. So we will be more than happy to help facilitate and to connect you with the right persons and the right institutions in Suriname in helping to promote the ease of business between our both countries.
So friends, here we are ending this special conversation with Ambassador of Suriname, Mr. Arunkoemar Hardien, and very good discussion actually. I can't say this interview, but it's a great discussion, and our Indian friends, businessmen, tourists, and those who are very keen in Suriname, in the Caribbean country, there's a huge potential, as His Excellency has rightly mentioned. And I think this is the time, this is the era, these two countries should come forward and do more business. People to people contact also need to increase. So we are very happy that your cooperation with Global India Business Forum is always there, and we are here to support this embassy and Suriname for the great promotion for this great country in India. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much also for your help, your assistance, and your support towards the Suriname Embassy. Thank you.